It's the Data Big.
Welcome to the Data Break Podcast, episode 35. I am your co-host, Taylor Kelsey, along here with Ravenstorm Labarkin. There's lack of wow, words are hard.
There's a max of lack.
I was going to say there's a lack of Lees here in the form of Max and James. Max is dead to us, and James is dying. So it's just us this week. And depending on how his condition goes, it might be us for the rest of the time.
It's okay. It's okay. He lived a noble life.
Mm-hmm. Recorded 34 episodes of a podcast. I'm sure it's exactly what he wanted with his life.
All right. Well, today, being hostless, we do find ourselves lacking the professional direction of the other 34 podcasts, and Taylor and I are basically going to talk about exciting things to you, listener. This will be a good place to place some surprises for our hosts and co-hosts alike.
Yes.
Because they're going to be hearing this for the first time, and this is our opportunity to make them happy and proud of us, and maybe they'll give me some a raise.
Our plan is that there is no plan. We're not really going off the rails because we never had them there to begin with for this episode. So we're just gonna kind of talk. Me and Ravenstorm don't just conversate that much, you know.
Yeah, it's sad that we don't actually.
We're two people with lots of opinions and everything all the time, and love to express them. So it feels like a wasted opportunity that we don't do this that often.
Yup. We should hang out more. Anyway, but after the podcast...
I turned off my lights, too, so it's getting good and intimate. I just got my lamp on. It's really nice in here.
That's good. How's MGS5 going? I mean, you could fill a podcast with that.
Not this week, man. I only played it for an hour. It's just...
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I love that game still, but Hearthstone is so much faster to play, and you can just click on it, and then you can do that for 12 hours. You have no idea what's going on. It's just the whole commitment of playing, that large game is something I have not gotten into this week. But I'm definitely still going to beat that game.
Cool. Speaking of smartphones and apps and Hearthstone especially, I have started a little project called Stock Plus. That's the working title. And it's just because I recently updated my OnePlus One phone to CyanogenMod 12.0, I believe, which is 12 or 12.1, which is their version of Android Lollipop 5.0, I think. And
did you have a stroke? The last two sentences complete gibberish to me. Android Lollipop 3, please.
Are you an iPhone user? Okay. Anyhow, anyone who knows what I'm talking about, it's the latest operating system, okay? And I had the opportunity to do a clean install. And ever since I was little, I've really loved just messing with technology. My family bought a computer when I was 10 years old. We didn't even have an internet connection. And I just learned the file system in and out. I learned how to, customize it. I just really, 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 really liked to just see how far I could take it. And next computer we had was this just crappy 1990-something laptop, or maybe it wasn't 1990-something, but it was a 20-pound laptop.
Yikes.
It was, I still just, I had to clean it every day, like clean the disk every day. It was very, very small, but I still managed to get a lot out of it. And now, I find myself with this computer in my pocket, this beautiful, elegant device that is just so much better and so much more powerful than what I've had for most of my life. But, I don't use it at all. My home screen was a mess. My folders were disorganized. I didn't really have any apps installed that really helped me in my day-to-day. And I just kind of got fed up with that. So I clean installed, and I've been seeing how far I can take a smartphone and what a good use of it is.
You try and tinker with it?
Yep, basically. I found probably the most radical bit I've found is that there is a Linux kernel used for professional penetration testing that I can install, and it just allows me to break into networks. It's free and it's online.
What is penetration testing?
It is what professional people use to make sure that their networks are secure, that
Okay.
people just can't
They
walk
should
in,
probably choose
basically.
a different name for that. That's less
Yeah,
suggestive.
penetration.
I need to
Penetration.
test the penetration. That's why I turn the lights off and just have my nice orange lamp on.
Dude, I recently, speaking of lamps, okay, I recently changed a light bulb in my desk lamp
Mm-hmm.
from a bright blue fluorescent bulb to a more incandescent looking fluorescent bulb, and the difference is just so
You
nice.
just like the ambiance of it.
Yeah, it's just so much better, dude. It doesn't hurt my eyes to look at my
Mm-hmm.
desk.
What do you use a desk lamp for? Do you just not have like a room lamp that or room light? You can just look at your.
I I don't. I have a string of white like Christmas lights going over my window and over my bed, and then I have a desk
Huh.
lamp. Yep.
So your
It's
room's nice and
yeah,
cozy all the time. That seems like a good, fun place to hang out at night. It was just like
dude,
pretty
it
chill.
is, and also I have my window so that like sunrises come in my window. It's really nice. Uh, and I just use daylight for most of the time.
Hmm.
Daylight works. Uh, I know some people don't have windows in their rooms, and I'm very lucky
My
for
house is on
that.
the corner, and my room is
Hmm.
on that corner with both windows on each side of the corner. And my
Dude,
desk
rad.
is there, so I just. That's why I like having all the lights off, is I can just look out in downtown with my nice giant windows anytime I'm at a desk.
Dude,
It's
that's super
especially
cool.
great for like listening to records. It's a really
Mm.
good ambiance for listening to some like old school. What's the word? Psychedelic
Final.
rock. Yeah.
Oh, dude, we should talk about music
Okay.
because I listen to a lot of music, and you listen to a lot of music. I think
Mhm.
you own a record
I
player,
do.
so I figure talk about your setup, and I'll talk about my setup
For my record setup.
for your audio. Like, just what do you have? I'm a kind of a audio tech geek, so.
Well, I have just a record player. It's called the Duo Electronic Drive 626. It's a German
Hmm.
record player from 1979. That
Nice.
sounds really dope. Everything works except for some buttons on the front. I got it for like 140 off of Craigslist from a dude that was in
Nice.
a band that clearly knew what he was doing, but he just needed cash really badly, so he's selling this. And then I just have I don't know, some Shearwood RX 4109 stereo receiver, just like $100 off of Amazon because the
Yep.
receiver is not crazy important.
Yeah, I know. I similarly have a very inexpensive receiver. It's an Insignia. It was just like the low end receiver at Best
Yeah.
Buy. But you know what? It has 200 watts of power, and I'm fine with that. I don't really need anything much more powerful.
And then,
As FM, AM,
yeah,
a remote.
I really wish that I could plug my phone into it and just listen to stuff like podcasts or something over my giant record speakers. There is a
Oh, mine has
headphones.
Bluetooth.
Oh, damn, son.
If you ever have the opportunity to
That sounds really
get some sort
nice.
of Bluetooth adapter for yours, I highly recommend it,
There
dude.
is like an
It
old school headphones jack. There's probably a adapter for that to like a Bluetooth
there is.
receiver.
I'm sure of it.
Oh, okay. I
Sure of
gotta
it.
get that. You know, it's gonna ruin
Yep.
the aesthetics of my whole setup now. Could just have a random cord out the front of my receiver.
It'll probably be more like a nub.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then just my speakers are just free ones I got at a estate sale that are
Dude,
clearly like 70s and are in really good shape and sound really nice.
honestly, the sound equipment is wonderful in the fact that it doesn't degrade. If you buy a high quality speakers that were made in the 1980s, they're going to be less expensive, of course, because they're old. But the drivers and everything, they don't really deteriorate with age.
And the
It's not
technology
like
hasn't gotten like crazy better for like whole record players or anything. So what you
Yep,
find then is
yep,
comparable to what you find now.
yep. I have been thinking about buying a record player. I shop at thrift stores a lot, and I see them pretty often.
Hmm.
I don't know if they work, of course, and I'd need to know if they work. But like, is it worth the investment? I like listening to the flax of vinyl that
Hmm.
I've had, and it's a nice sound.
It sounds
And
really
I don't
great.
really,
Yeah. That's not the entire appeal of it for me. I'd really like owning. I just like owning the records, being able to touch and feel them, and look through
Yep.
stuff, and
Yeah,
supporting
I
small
was.
bands through that.
Yep. That's the thing. I don't think I'd buy an album digitally. I don't really see the point of that because unless they give me like flawless quality, then it's not really something to buy. And it is nice to have something concrete. Um, because I don't think I even own any of my music. Everything's streamed through Pandora or Spotify or Google Play, and it would be nice to have something, analog.
Yes, and a lot of the new records that you get give you a code to download the album digitally if you want anyway.
Dude, hell yeah.
hmm So you get best of both worlds there. It's just the problem with
Yep.
vinyl is it's fucking expensive.
Is it? A couple of the bands that I've been looking at. Well, I mean, it's just merch from they sell it online. It's like $12 for their albums, and it's not too expensive.
That's a pretty cheap price, but that's a plus tax and shipping is going to
Shipping,
shove
I
you like
guess. Yeah.
18 bucks. And
hmm
then if you ever shop at a record store, don't because it's always like 20 to $35 for new records.
I like that sentence. If you ever shop at a record
Don't.
store, don't.
It's it's
Just
it's really bad because
okay.
it's weird. We're in Sacramento, home of Tower Records,
hmm
but just it doesn't exist anymore. But it's just
Yep.
God, it sucks so bad. Dimple is garbage. Dimple Records.
Oh, I know they are.
Oh,
I
I
know they
hate
are.
it.
I go to Dimple Books because they have a lot of cheap books, and I literally spend my pocket change.
hmm
Like just after a week, I go buy like $2.99, and it's a new book that I get to read. That is worth it to me. Uh,
Yeah, books are
Used book
longer.
sales in general. hmm But I can't imagine paying $30 for an album.
Do you want to hear
That just
a dirty
doesn't
secret
seem
of mine?
sure.
The Neutral Milk Hotel album, In the Aeroplane Over the Sea. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yes,
It
I that's one of my top albums actually.
yes, I agree. And it is a thing where I was like, this is one of the first records I bought. I realized this album came out in 1998. I
hmm
assumed it was late 90s. There weren't that many records being uh, printed and sold, and there wasn't
Yeah.
going to be that many of these. So when I found a copy of this on Discogs, which is like an online record trader, kind of like eBay just for
Yeah.
records, that it was $30 plus $20 shipping because it's from Canada. I pounced on it so fast until I realized that this has been re repressed a bajillion times, and you see 3,000 copies of it at Dimple every time you go, and it crushes my soul because I spent $30 extra on a record that I did
Oh,
not need to.
I'm sorry,
But I
Taylor.
got the Canadian pressing, I guess. That's just like a
Dude,
newbie mistake.
that sounds like a fun record to listen. I like listening through entire albums, so that's another appeal of buying a record player
Yes.
to me, because I used to work at a bakery,
Oh,
and
you
I
don't work
did
there anymore?
just me. No, I quit. The hours ruined my life pretty
Got it.
much. Yeah. Um, but like I had to spend some serious effort occupying my brain to make sure that the cells didn't just die. I probably listened to a podcast every night, just of some. It was usually Magic the Gathering podcast,
hmm
so I guess that doesn't really count. Uh, but also, just music all the time, and I've listened to so much music. I don't even know most of its names. It's just wonderful,
hmm
and I like listening through albums.
Yep.
Uh, have you heard of Sufjan Stevens by any
Of course
chance?
I've heard of Sufjan Stevens. Are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
I own a record
Okay.
player.
Hey,
I know who Sufjan
okay.
Stevens is.
Do you have a favorite?
Carrie and Lowell.
Okay. I haven't listened through that one yet. I've listened through Michigan
Illinois
and
and Age of
Illinois
Ads.
and Age of Odds. Age of Odds is my favorite so far.
Yeah. I'm just not
Yep.
super into electronic stuff, so that little niche doesn't super appeal to me.
I understand. It's just that I'd consider him a creative genius personally, uh, and his use of electronic is probably the best I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, he's very, very good.
I he puts Daft Punk to absolute
They're
shame.
not the same. You can't compare them.
No, I know, but he does. People, well, in the manner that people use Daft Punk as an example of good electronic,
Hmm.
he outdoes them in that in quality,
Yeah, but they're trying to make
in my opinion.
dance music, house music. I don't know. It's hard to compare for
It's
me.
it's because he's American and they're French, and the French are terrible.
No. Va te faire foutre.
No.
I just said go fuck yourself in French in case you're wondering.
Could you say that again,
Va te faire
please, for our
foutre.
French? Okay.
You can fact
Okay.
check me. I know that's correct.
Okay. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna fact
Je
check you.
français.
You were my TA
No, yeah,
in
I
French for
forgot about that.
for years. That.
Should we tell the story
Yeah.
about how there was a substitute teacher and you did not want to go to class?
Yes.
Do you want to tell it or should
I
I?
don't remember this
You
though.
don't
I
remember
don't
this?
remember this.
This is like one of the
No.
best days of high school.
Oh, okay.
So it was a substitute teacher, and Ravenstorm was the in the class. I was the TA, and the French room had a back room where it was just a bunch of couches and stuff, and where I usually hung out because there was nothing for me to do when there was a substitute in class. And then
Oh, is
Ravenstorm,
this the part? This is the one where I sat behind the
yes,
couch and just
so
laid there
Ravenstorm
for the entire
just
period?
hid behind a couch in the back room for an hour. He like went to the back, like I'm gonna get a drink, and then just stayed there for an hour hiding behind the couch. I had pictures of my phone on my phone of him just hiding behind this couch, and if anyone walked in, it would just look like I'm talking to the back of a couch. And it was so funny. We thought you like got away with murder until you walk out, and the teacher's like, "So where you been?" And then started to get you in trouble until I was like, "I need to take him home," and then you got you out of trouble.
Dude, I do remember this now, and I remember. Thank you.
It's so
Shit.
good. That
Ah,
was so hilarious. Cause like it was
I
such
just shouldn't have walked out at that
it was such a
time.
stupid thing that we were doing, and then that we
Yep.
thought we got away with it, and then we didn't, and then we did. Like it was just a good roller coaster.
It turned out better than
Yeah.
expected, and it made. Oh, speaking of which, I listened to a podcast that sort of stuck with me about how suspense is created, and suspense is created when your beliefs or when you're given information that would suggest one thing, and excitement happens when your beliefs change.
Hmm.
And there was a lot of belief changing in that little
Yes.
episode. Yeah.
It wasn't suspenseful though, because it was just like we did it, and then it was like a split
Then,
second of like, oh shit, and then it's back to everything is fine.
yep, yep. Man, my brother is almost the age that I was
That was only like
at
2
that
years ago.
time. Yeah, I
Can
know.
we be nostalgic for that? Is that illegal? It was not that long ago.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
So wait, I want to talk about, do you have a record player or are you just looking, you just want one?
I have considered buying one, and me being unemployed now, it means that I don't have an income, which means I just can't
Yeah, it's an issue.
decide to spend.
It's a very
Um,
expensive hobby. There's a
yeah, I
there's a
know.
common joke among people that collect records is, what really got me into records was the inconvenience and the cost. Because you can't bring it anywhere. It's in one spot and it costs so fucking much. But it's
Dude,
still great.
there are like only a few bands whose albums I find worthy and who I would feel like supporting with my
Hmm.
money. And so, and having an analog copy of that music would make me very, very
Hmm.
happy.
And that's
And
similar
also,
to how I had my mindset when I first started, but it expands quickly of just like I like this, I will buy this. Oh, this is $8, I'm gonna buy
okay.
this. And then thrift stores will fuck you up in terms of just buying records.
But I know that's the thing. Like I've seen a couple of like older records there that I wouldn't mind listening to.
I
And
have some really funny
that's
stuff.
that's an interesting way to expand your tastes too,
Yes,
or at
I
least your
have gone
experience.
into some Mexican music recently because I've Alec Anderson,
Yeah.
best friend of my show, bought me a Greek record that I was like really weird, like Greek ballads. which is okay. But he also brought me a marimba record, which is Mexican. It's just mostly focused on the marimba instrument, which is like similar to a xylophone. And
Yeah, it's the wooden
yeah,
one.
and I really fell in
Yeah.
love with that.
Nice.
And then I bought a couple other Mexican records, and I'm just listening to Mexican music recently. It's fantastic, and that's one way that just like gets you into different genres, especially since they're all cheap.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think I might go ahead and do that because like if I spend $15 on a old record player and get the needle replaced, like how much do I really need to change of that? It's just I have the audio out and the motor works and the plate's flat and new needle.
Yeah, and you already have the
Is there anything
receiver.
else? Yeah, is there anything else that I
You already
like
have
would
receiver
need?
and speakers, then no.
Right.
Yeah, the thing is, if you get a shitty needle or shitty cartridge or anything that's bad, it can destroy your records. So going cheap is not always the best idea because
Hmm.
did you
Hmm.
know Crosley, that brand?
No.
Okay, it's very famous among vinyl assholes that like it's
Dude,
what?
I don't like how the communities that I really enjoy are always very very self-critical and like
Well, it's hard to talk about something that you love that's so niche and like be so genuine about it without realizing how insane it is.
well, of course, but I mean like I like it. I personally think that's something to be proud of. Like it's like, oh, I have a weird hobby, and it's not like you want attention whore for it. It's just you don't have to acknowledge that it's niche constantly. I think that at least in my opinion,
Well, part of the vinyl
and I'm
asshole
not
of it
saying
is making fun of people who don't know what they're doing. That's what I mean by that. That's where I
oh
was getting at.
okay
Where Crosley record players are it's a record player in a suitcase that is garbage, ruins your records all the time. It's like a $70 record player that's new. It ruins your records, and it's a poster child of lay hipster indie kid. Oh look, I'm listening to Arctic Monkeys, aren't I cool and hip? Let me post this on Instagram. That kind of just like trying to be unique, but just like really, yes,
miserably failing at trying to be individual by adopting
by
the image of people who consider themselves individuals.
yes, and
Yeah,
yeah, that's
I know
that's
that all
Crosley's.
too
So
well.
that's cheap record player, just not super great. But record store one is probably okay. It's probably just family members after their family member deceased that just don't need it or don't want it and just giving it away.
I'm probably gonna check out some estate sales
Hmm.
first because I know that people. I think I've had two friends who've scored major audio equipment. Uh, my ex girlfriend actually got this wonderful pair of headphones from an estate
Hmm.
sale for $20, like really high end Sennheisers. I think they were worth something like $450, just
That's
ridiculous for
solid.
$20.
My family
Yep.
runs estate sales. That's our business. So,
Really?
hmm so my grandma does, and my
Hmm.
mom and I
Well,
work on it constantly. So we get record players all the time.
awesome.
So I guess
Let
I'll
me
just let
know,
you
and
know. Yeah.
yeah, let me know.
I haven't seen these fucking
Let's see.
Sennheisers though. Goddamn, that's a good find.
Yep.
It's all just thrill of the chase. That's kind of why
Hmm.
record is fun too. It's thrill of the chase of trying to find some crazy record, just digging through crates and crates and crates to get one thing that you enjoy.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
found one holy grail, which is not my holy grail. It's just like profit holy grail.
Oh,
I
really?
was at a thrift store looking through the record section. I found a Madonna single that was sealed,
Uh huh.
and then
Ooh.
it said like limited edition or whatever. So I'm like, okay, let's look this up. And I look it up, and it was worth about $150. And I bought it for two, and then sold it to someone in Brazil for about $150, and made a
That
fat profit.
that Bra- that Brazilian's gonna be enjoying that Madonna single over and over.
No, it's they don't buy it to open it, dude. Come on, it's sealed. That's
They buy
that's
it for
like a
they
hundred
they
dollars
buy
worth
it
right
because
there.
it's Beanie Babies, dude.
Well, part of the thing with that is that there's different colors that are worth different prices. So sealed is the Counter-Strike mystery box of could be worth a shit ton or could be worth a little bit. So it could have opened that and
Ah,
gotten something that was worth way more.
ah, hmm, cool.
Or what do we got next?
Let's see. We were going to talk about, well, we talked about talking about before the
Hmm.
podcast the Elia Motors $6,800 car that's been delayed yet again,
Hmm.
and as well as Upsilon Circuit, the game with permadeath.
Yes. So these are just good, like, general starting off topic points for us. These are very, like, I like to stress how non-structured the show was. That we just kind of found
Yeah,
stuff really quickly to talk about.
it's not like we have a bunch of people we're going to disappoint. In fact, I think I just enjoy conversational
Hmm.
episodes
That's
personally.
what I prefer to
Uh,
news.
and seeing that neither of us has talked about anything that isn't
Hmm.
conversational so far. It's been this is going to be a good episode to listen to, in my opinion.
Hmm. I know James likes to run a
Uh,
news type show.
he does, and I appreciate that. But that's when he's here. That's when he's here.
Daddy's not home. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We're gonna have a party where we
James,
talk
yeah,
about
James.
records.
James, look at what we did with your podcast,
Nah, nah,
James.
nah, nah, nah.
Yeah. Ah. Mm. And you were talking about how you didn't like the concept of artificial intelligence,
Oh yeah,
whereas I do.
no, it's bad. It's just all bad.
Why do you think it's
Because
bad?
I've seen movies. There's your crux of my
What?
argument. Where,
That's not a good one.
where it's just like
Please.
I don't know, man. It's so easy to get really scared of the potential harm that AI can do to humans. It's so easy.
But okay, so I'm just gonna throw questions at you. Is it based around your lack of faith in people's ability to construct AI?
To
Or is
control it.
it something else? Well, okay. So I believe in causality and the deterministic universe sort of thing, uh, and I feel like the only way we would have trouble controlling AI is if we did not properly construct it. You know what I mean? So, do you think that
Mm-hmm.
people are just going to mess up, or do you think it's just like
Just
it's going to get out of control on its own?
just a second. Just a second.
I want a self-driving car. It's all right.
All right, sorry.
It's cool.
Just talking to my mom. Um, Sorry about that. So yes, it is a way that coding works. If everything is that there's always something that you don't account for.
I,
So yes, I would say that it's
okay,
humans' inability to
I can
construct
see I
something.
can see that. That's a valid argument. Um, but like, I feel like that's kind of a pop culture thing too. Is that people are on board
Hmm.
with bagging on robots? Uh, I feel like maybe back in the atomic age, people might have been afraid of mutants and that sort of thing, and what potentially nuclear power could potentially do to our children and things like that. And it's sort of the
Hmm.
same thing.
It's definitely fear of
Oh,
the
okay.
unknown. I'm not saying it's a rational fear,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah, I understand.
definitely real. I don't have any evidence that it's like, yes, robots are going to be evil. It's just that my stupid human gut says robots are going to be evil because I've been socialized by science
True.
fiction for my entire
Yeah, I
life.
guess I.
Is there a science fiction movie where robots are good?
Hmm.
Actually, Her. The AI falls in
I
love with
like
the dude
I
with
like
Walking Phoenix.
Interstellar's
If you know that
robots.
movie.
It's okay.
I've not seen it.
That movie was, I liked it because it entertained me, but it was very very it was full of holes and it tried hard in the wrong places, in my opinion.
Hmm. Was it a positive or negative
Positive.
view on the future?
It's dystopian for
That's
sure,
cool.
but like Well, no, like
Happy
it's
dystopia.
crop blight. It's like we're in a bad spot. It's not like the end of the world sort of thing.
Hmm. There's not that many optimistic science fiction things other than Star Trek is
Hmm.
the main one. But I think most of my view of the
Bad.
future is drawn from pessimistic, science fiction stuff because that's what makes
Yep.
good movies is conflict. There's not a ton of good movie, and the AI
The
is our best
self-driving
friend.
cars.
Hooray! You know.
I fell in love with a self-driving car.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah, that's weird. Maybe because I'm totally fine with self-driving
That's
cars. Is
contradictory,
that
yeah, but
is that like a
yes, it is.
is that hypocritical?
I guess
Okay.
here, I guess it's not because
Yeah.
I think we may be talking about different standards of artificial intelligence. I think the field is very much worth exploring. I don't think we should create a human level intelligence until we figure all our human problems out. That's just common sense to me. But I think that having things with lower intelligence and the simple ability to learn and construct neural nets, that does not constitute intelligence. A jellyfish can do that. It's not intelligent. But
Hmm.
so
How dare you? I have plenty of jellyfish friends
do
who'll
you
be
think
very
there's
offended when they
do
hear
you think
about
there's a
this.
derogatory
I
term
call
for
them
your jellyfish
stupid.
friends? Like, I don't think jellyfish.
Just spineless.
Damn, damn. Yep. I
Yeah.
just.
So that was a good discussion on Elia Motors, 84 mile per gallon.
All right, so let's move to that though.
Introduce that topic and then
Next,
fuck
yeah.
it.
I
Next.
the thing is that okay, so uh, rundown. There's a company that's been has it been crowdfunded? I think a lot of people have put money down on like a pre-order for these nice little three-wheeler tandem $6,800 new cars. They get 84 miles to the gallon or up to 84 miles to the gallon according to the website, official website, and there are test videos of them all over the internet, and it's become sort of it's got some momentum to it, but the launch date has been pushed back several times, and it's looking more and more like vaporware, especially to these people who have put their money down on it. What do you think of this?
I don't know, the car's. It's something I would buy. It's really cheap, and
I
I'm pretty
agree.
utilitarian
I
in my car.
I
What I
am
need for my
looking at.
car.
I'm teaching myself to code right now, and I'm looking at going to a coding boot camp in February or March of next year. Very happy about that. Uh, and after that, I'm going to be making a good amount of money, hopefully. And even then, I plan on driving a cheap used car. I don't want to make payments for 5 or 10 years on something. I just like it's only marginally better. And a $6,800 new car with a good safety
Hmm.
rating sounds to me just like that's valuable in a golden way.
Yeah. It's something you like. Pick. You're not gonna. It's like such a weird
Yeah,
social, like, oh god, no. But at the same time, I
yeah,
don't super care. I don't know. People prescribe a lot of meaning
yeah.
to what your car
They
is,
do, and I
to like
find
who
I
you
that
are.
kind of bugs me because I drive sort of an obnoxious car. It's an all white Accord that's been sort of decked out. It's got a big Honda sticker, Honda decal across the back windshield, and black rims, and an Oakland Raiders bumpers. Oakland Raiders license plate frame. I don't follow the Raiders, uh, and like
Yeah.
it really does not say anything about the person I am at all. And I'm sure that there are people who see the car
Hmm.
going down the road and I change lanes and they think some dirty thought about some hoodlum or something. I don't know. Uh, it's like, and
Yes.
I just it does seem like a social problem, but I feel like at the same time it's such a cool thing, dude. It's 80. Yeah, no, no, that
Cars?
car, the LAO Motors car. It's 84 miles per gallon.
Oh
Like
yeah.
the car will pay for itself pretty quick.
Yes. But because of that social view of your car is who you are, You think it's gonna sell well, or is there a lot of people like us who don't give a shit? Maybe Europeans. It's mostly American thing of loving cars and going crazy about what your car is to who you
Well,
are.
I don't.
Because Europe they have smart cars and it's like whatever, man. It's
I
small.
think,
It's
dude,
the
the
job
smart car
done.
caught on here too, and that didn't even offer anything nearly as valuable as this. It was just sort of it was a short fad, you know?
I'd still buy a smart car if I didn't already have one. Like
Right.
normal car, I
But
mean, not a smart car. It's the same thing, or it's like it's small, it's light. If I get hit, I'll probably die anyway. Whatever.
yeah, that's a hell of a way to look at it. But I think in the Elio Motors car, you won't die because I'm gonna fact check myself right now.
Is that a feature that they're advertising? You won't die in our car.
Let's see. 5-star crash test rating. Somehow.
Somehow. This thing looks This thing looks like a snowmobile from the back. It's like
It's
this
got a
is
motorcycle
so small.
classification.
I don't know
It's
how it's
yeah.
humanly possible.
Um
Yeah,
oh. Oh,
3 wheels.
never mind. Never mind. There's no federal mandate to actually
Never
crash
mind what.
test it. So the 5-star rating is theoretical.
So they
How did
could
they
have
get
just
away with that? How did they get away
a
with that? You
theoretical five
can't.
star rating. You know, the guy in the board meeting, he's like, "What do you guys think?
Four,
Do you guys think
three?
like a 4 star? Or like, what do you think?" I think it's a 5. Yeah, no, great. We'll publish it, print. Let's go. I think we've done all the research we've needed here.
Um,
That's
and they
silly.
don't mention emissions.
Probably not a ton because of
Okay.
what year it is.
Okay.
You can't get away with that much.
Hmm. But what about the fact that it's a motorcycle, though? Technically,
Mean
no.
that
It's just
motorcycles
not
give off more
legally.
emissions?
It's not legally obligated that they have like a catalytic converter and shit.
Hmm.
But they do
I
say
don't
that
know.
it'll meet or exceed our air standards here.
I'm sure in 12 years when this actually comes out, we'll find out because it just keeps getting delayed. But
Well,
really, did they have to
they
choose
have a bunch
orange?
of different
I'm not
colors.
a big
They have a
stickler
bunch of
for,
different
but like,
colors.
come on, son. All
So-
right. Okay. Okay.
oh,
This is
true.
the thing you
Okay.
sent me is orange. Just fucking leveling it up one more thing to make it look stupid. Is that it's orange also. It's like safety orange. It's like, please don't hit me because if you do, I'm going to curl up
Dude,
into a
I
tiny
would
little
I would
ball.
paint that car tennis ball green. You need some visibility.
It's like, please be aware of me.
I'm here, guys.
I'm tiny and
I'm
defenseless.
theoretically safe.
It's like your warning colors in nature. You gotta
Yellow
make
and
it like
black. Just like
yellow and
a wasp
black so
car.
it scares off other cars.
Add like
Yeah.
mimic eyes.
It's it shows the other it shows the other cars that this
It's
was
got headlights
dangerous.
on the doors to
Stay
confuse
away.
enemies.
It's got like in the back like it's it's like oh it's it's like the tiny little rodent car that just has to try and use every trick in the book not to
yeah.
get destroyed.
Damn.
I want to see that'd be a really good mockumentary, doing like a Richard Attenborough cars,
Oh,
predators, and
dude, I was
prey
watching. Okay, I
type
was watching
situation.
The Secret Life of Mammals or some similar documentary with David Attenborough in it with a friend the other night, and
Hmm.
there was this scene, okay, where he says he's in a desert, okay, and he lays down by a burrow, and he says, "Well, this mouse will come out if we give it some seeds," and he gives it some seeds, and then they cut away from him, okay, and it says, "Well, he didn't come out." And it's not until nighttime that he comes out. And so then there's the shot of a mouse coming out and David Attenborough laying in the exact same spot and smiling at it like he hadn't moved that entire time. And yeah,
That's
I no
amazing.
no
Do
I'm
you think he did
I think
move?
he did move, but it was just really funny how they just placed him there exact like they had a continuity person, I think, to help out with that.
Yeah. Who's like, yeah, we need him to actually still be there. They should just do a time lapse of him just sitting there bored as hell for like 6 hours until it turns into night, with just like seeds in his hand. He like wakes up because the mouse is just chilling in his hand,
I'm gonna
eating
see if
seeds. What are you looking up?
David Attenborough seeds, and I was gonna see if anything came up for that. It didn't. It's all right. Um, let's see. Have you been playing anything?
Uh, you commented
Oh,
on
dude,
my
yeah.
Undertale picture with knowledge that it
I
made it
haven't
seem
played
like you
it. I
played
have seen it
Undertale.
played, and I'm
Did,
about to pick it up because I watched a fight
okay.
scene with Papyrus and some gameplay, and I thought, that's pretty funny. That's and
It's a
also
really great
I've
game.
found I heard
So
that the
it's
decision making in that game is a little bit deeper than most. Okay. All right. Cool.
yes. So I'll talk about it. So top level, it's a JRPG style game by a man named Toby Fox. But the thing is, it's not 3,000 hours like most JRPGs with lots of grinding and stuff. The combat is not really the main focus of the game. It is an interest. It's one of the most interesting elements of it, in where that you can get through every single fight without fighting anyone. Where you just go through a series of kind of like dialogue trees, where you say, "I'm going to talk with this animal," and then it reacts, and you keep trying to figure out like trying to get to their center, get to their core, to figure out
Mm-hmm.
to get them to stop attacking you, and then you can just hit a button that says spare and get away. So there's a creature with like a hat, and you say like nice hat. And he's like, he was too busy admiring his hat to notice what you said. And then so basically you have to figure out that you have to steal the guy's hat and then talk to him, and then he's since he's so not since now he's not distracted by his own hat, he can talk to you, and
Uh,
then you can stop fighting. It's
yeah.
really
And
weird stuff like that.
it looks really quirky and sort of it just really not
Hmm.
not just quirky though. Like they've created a whole. Yeah,
It's
it
genuinely
seems
funny.
like
It's really funny.
sort of a I like the phrase deconstruction of the genre.
Hmm. It's well
Mm.
aware of what JRPGs are, and this. So another interesting thing is if so the actual fighting of it is enemies attack you and you have to do a bullet hell type thing to avoid their attacks, which is they use that in pretty clever ways. Like there's a person who is attacking you, but it doesn't want to hurt you, so it's bullet hell, but everything that comes near you
Nice.
just disperses. So it's like a really clever way of showing the character in the fighting, and they have a lot of clever
Yep.
ways of doing that for a lot of different characters in the game. And it's like 5 hours long. I played it for 4 hours. I got stuck on a boss, which the pacifist way to beat the boss I cannot do because I didn't buy a stupid treat from the spider sale.
Oh yeah,
So I have to.
I've heard about this. You can do a
So I
pacifist
actually have to
run where
fight
you
the
don't kill
boss.
anyone, and you
You just talk and be friends with
yep, and
everyone
then there's a
until
genocide
it's
run
really
where you
great.
do kill everyone. Oh yeah, for sure.
The ending's different, I'm
I'm
guessing.
pretty.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle where
Mm,
I've killed maybe like one or two people, so I'm not gonna get any of those endings. But yeah, the game's really funny. There's a lot of really clever stuff with like puzzles and just talking about
yep.
enemies and stuff. It's like 8-bit art style. It's something I'd really recommend. It's like 5 hours for $10 on Steam, made by one dude. It's like almost universally praised ratings. It's really crazy for such a small game like this. It's been everyone just loves it
Nice,
reviewing
and I
wise.
can see why. Like it's interesting. Like it's simple,
Yes, it's
but it's
subversive.
interesting, and the play is pretty. It's pretty fun just to play it. it's pretty fun just to watch it. It gives you a
Hmm.
reason to go on and proceed through, and also,
And you want to see
yep,
the jokes. That helps you keep going as well.
yep.
So, yeah, I played that, Undertale, by Toby Fox, and I played more Hearthstone. But I'm sad to admit that after 700 hours of that
Oh
game,
damn.
I finally spent money. I spent $15 because most of the cards in the game you
Mm-hmm.
can grind out by just opening packs. But there are certain cards you can only get through playing single
Mm-hmm.
player adventures that you have to buy. And those cards, like 6 of those 18 cards, are crucial to most of the decks that are currently popular. And I was just got so tired of playing the one deck that I had that was good that I decided to spend money to open
Dude,
up
that's
my
fine.
possibilities to
Honestly, I
play other
play Magic the
decks.
Gathering. I know this feeling. I
Oh
know
yeah,
this
it's
feeling. I
expensive
actually
as
play a budget deck that
fuck.
just okay. It revolves. Do you know anything about you know about it? You know about Magic in general, right?
I know that it's expensive. I know that Sam Calvert
Okay.
told me not to
Well,
play it because
you
it's
know how
expensive.
combat works in general because you play Hearthstone. There's attack. Do you have attack and defense in Hearthstone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, in Magic you have attack
No.
and defense, and if your toughness, which is the defense, reaches 0, you die, or your character dies. Your monster. Your
I
yeah.
guess you
Okay.
do have that,
So
just health.
Um, I play a deck that revolves around this card called Assault Formation, and it's an enchantment, so it stays on the field once it's played. It goes out for 2 mana, or one in a green, which is. Do you have colors in Hearthstone? Okay, well,
For mana, it's just
Magic they have
mana.
colors. Uh, 2 mana, which is pretty cheap. This can be played second turn, and it registers combat damage of your creatures as its toughness rather than its power. And there are a lot of cheap cards with 0 power, but 4, 5, 6, and 7 toughness. And
So just a lot
yep,
of health
and
and
this
no
card
attack, basically.
basically turns something that comes out for 2 mana into a 5/5, which is huge. Well, like it's big-ish on turn
Mm-hmm.
3. It turns this one card that comes out for 2 into a 7/7 on turn 2. Like it's ridiculous, dude. And I went to the latest pre-release, and I got this card called Benthic Infiltrator, which has a power. It's an effect that makes it unblockable. It's just unblockable, and it's 1/4, and it comes out for 2, and that could just eat away at someone really really quick. And so that's going to be the new featured card, and it's cheap. My deck is cheap. I think it's under $40 as it stands now, which relatively is pretty cheap,
That's not bad.
and I'm proud of that. mm,
This is a weird
okay,
transition, but I kind of want to talk about it. What do you feel about minimalism in
I
general?
believe in a deliberate lifestyle. I don't know if that makes me a minimalist. I think
Explain
that
what
the
that means.
things that I do and the things that I say and the things that I own should all hold meaning. I don't like to just buy things or just like grab things. I don't do impulse buys. I research my purchases, and I research my like just the direction I take things in pretty thoroughly. And
It's pretty similar to minimalism. It's minimalism is about reducing the excess in your life and getting
yep,
down
I don't.
to what you care about. So it's basically you have the coming from a different direction of like starting from nothing and then choosing what you care about, and the minimalism
That's
is
basically what I do
excluding
too,
what you
because
don't care about.
I just kind of don't care about what I don't care about, and so it doesn't end up getting into my life. Like I look around my room and everything I see, it's like, oh, I know the reason that I have that, and I think that given the chance, given there's something I want to do in the future, is like I could probably fit my life in the back of a car. I could possibly fit my life in a backpack
Hmm.
and just sort of pick up and move around, because I don't really need a lot, and I don't really want a lot. I like the fact that I have my battle station with my big old stereo monitors and this wonderful 1080p screen, but I don't need that. I could get by on a laptop. I could get by on my smartphone. you know?
That's something I want to get to. Did you read the article I wrote that's going to be on the
I
website
haven't.
eventually?
I'm going to get around to that this Thursday, which is web
Okay.
day for me, where I'm going to manage all the
Okay.
content that's been put in so far. Yeah,
Is web day part of
it
your lifestyle where you decide
it
this is
is
the day where I'm
actually.
going to do internet stuff?
I have to kind of maintain self discipline because I don't go to college right now. I'm teaching myself, and
Mm-hmm.
I really do need structure. So I have different days of the week. I have a couple fitness days where I run, cycle, and go to the gym. I have a web I have a web day
Hardcore.
where I just manage all the web design stuff I do because most of what I do is just learning languages. It's not building things, but I really like to build things, and so I do that every Thursday. Uh,
Okay.
and and I have an art and music day where I practice my mandolin, which is super quirky, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and
Lay weird. Look at me
my
and my
it's
weird
yeah
mandolin.
no yeah
That's not what you are.
yeah.
I know. I know. I'm not.
Thank you. And then I have like a just a reading day where and it's just like it's just so that I get
Compartmentalize in your
that's
life. That
okay.
was a hard word for me to say for some reason. You're compartmentalizing your life in a way that you're putting each thing you like into different
It
sections
gives
to
me
keep structure.
motivation to get
Because you don't.
not only to focus on one thing, which really helps. It's not like just like, oh, I have a bunch of stuff I can do. What am I gonna do? It's it's so that the decision I made a good
Hmm.
decision for me already, and I just go with it.
So that's something I really want. That's almost like weirdly tangentially related to the article that I want you
Okay,
to
cool.
read that I wrote, where it's that it stemmed from that New York Times article that I showed you about unitasking and the way that
Yes.
technology is ruining social everything. What I took mostly from that article is not the social aspect of it,
Hmm.
but the personal aspect of that there is just so much media from the
Yeah.
internet coming at you constantly that you don't really you can't really parse anything out and
Yep.
you don't really care about any of it. And it's definitely how I live my life is just inject as much things as I can
Ah.
into my brain at any time and never really
Hmm.
nothing in it, none of it means anything
Hmm.
to me. It's just the way to pass the time. And that's something I want to try and reduce and start,
I
as the article says, is
understand. I
unitasking.
understand
Of like
that, and
focus on one thing.
I've had the opposite problem actually, because like I spend a lot of time doing one thing. I spend a lot of time doing one thing, and I'm not good at multitasking at all. I can't handle more than one. Like I can't handle more than a couple different things that I need to do or need to get done at the same time. And I understand what you said about just like that's a way to pass the time. Information whoring is honestly, or information mongering is something that I have a weakness for. Like, I just like to learn, but it's learning in sort of a casual way,
Hmm.
just like, oh my god, I didn't know that. That's cool, and then forgetting about it. Yep.
Through osmosis of like for me it's mostly video games and music where I'm just surrounded in information constantly that so much of it gets just like seep
Hmm.
through my skin until I just know it. And I don't care about most of it. It's just something that I
Hmm.
like knowing about video games. But that's not part of the minimalist thing is that's not essential. I don't need to know
Well,
everything
see,
about
here's
every
a,
fucking video game. There are certain games I care about and then I can just focus on that and there's certain websites I care about rather than just trying to get every
right, right.
media source I
Well,
can.
that's what the
You
website's
know?
going to be about for the most part. It's just like that thoughtful content, you know, thoughtful content, and it's
Yeah.
good to have.
This website that is
It
supposed to
is, dude.
exist soon.
November 1st
How soon?
is the
Yeah,
the teaser
November
date.
1st. Okay.
Okay, I think I have an
Okay.
operational page up that redirects. Hold on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it, the one with the rain.
The
Go to addendum.com. Endum.
Yes, you did.
I think I
And
spelled that right.
it's broken right now. The font
Yes.
seems to have moved for some reason. But uh yeah.
See, that right there is why AI is going to take over the world. You did not
No, I
intend
didn't.
that font to be like that.
Well,
And look
hopefully
what
by
you've
the
done.
time I think definitely by the time the anyone hears this, it's
You
going
gotta
to
do
be
that quick.
fixed.
The AI is going to
It's
take
going to
over
be
the world unless
fixed.
you change that
Uh
font. So, okay, I wanna go back to
faux
the topic
faux
of
show.
the
Faux show.
everything we are
Faux
talking
show.
about before the website. Of part of the unitasking for me recently has been not bringing my
Okay.
headphones with me wherever I go, and literally just hearing things around me instead of having
Mhm.
listening to a podcast constantly. And it's I've really enjoyed it, of like taking the subtleties of life and the parts where it's boring, and appreciating it for like not just being
Yeah.
boring but like being part of life, you know? Because part of that New
You
York
know
Times article is it says that life doesn't
right, of
respond like an
course.
app quickly and cleanly, and it's
Yes.
something that I want to start
It,
embracing, because I've been trying to fill my life, all the gaps in my life, with the apps of just listening to music and podcasts and
wow.
shit constantly.
Well, I think it's possible, dude. It's not too hard to tune that out because it's like the minimalism thing you said. It's I'd like you to explain that a little bit more because the way you talk about it seems like you're into it and you know what you're talking about when it comes to that. Uh, and I'd like a better explanation of it because it seems like something that jives with the way I think. So
I'm pretty new to the whole thought process, and I haven't fully
right.
embraced it. I just kind of pick and choose what I want. Where it's basically just going through the bare essentials of life and what truly
Hmm.
means something to you in life. And I've kind of did that with my fashion like a while ago, through like getting rid of the clothes I don't wear and just going through basic, like I have 3 pairs of pants and
Nice.
6 shirts and 3 jackets and 3 shoes, and like I will just mix and match these
That's
constantly. And it really
mhm.
eliminates the extra noise in life, and just really lets me like get down to like who I
No,
am.
it doesn't,
It
dude.
sounds really stupid, but like there's been so much noise in my life that I don't actually think about anything at all. And then when I get those silent moments where I don't have my podcast and
Yeah.
everything stimulating my brain constantly,
Yep.
I don't know how to handle it. And I'm trying to. Another thing about what the article says is learning how to
Yeah.
be alone without being lonely. And that resonated with
Oh
me
wow.
so fucking hard, because most of the time I can't sleep because that's when I don't have anything distracting
Hmm.
me, and then I'm literally alone, and then everything just cascades on me at once, all of my thought process, because it hasn't had any time in the day
Yeah,
to
I know how that
like
feels.
actually
100%,
manifest
man.
itself.
I
But I've been doing this for like maybe 5 or 6 days, and
nice.
I've been sleeping a lot better. Of like monotasking, I like don't feel the need to. If literally before, if I'm going from my chair to the kitchen to get a drink, I will find a podcast to listen to for those 30
Wow.
seconds. Like that's insane.
Yeah,
That's an addiction. Is I need something on me all the time, and I've just
good. Good for you,
really
man.
cut that off. And it's good for
Ah,
productivity as well.
what? Damn. Hmm. Are there any sort of resources on this, like good sites to visit or something?
Just the subreddit minimalism is what is my like the
All
only
right.
thing I've done so far. Because like I said, it's not something I want to expand into my entire life, because it just feels kind of outdated to be like crazy minimalist. But it's just little
Wait, what do you
things
mean
I can
like
pick and
crazy
choose from it.
minimalist? Like
And I've
like
always
you
enjoyed
you you have a
minimalist
chair
aesthetics.
that's made of straight lines and it's colored flat black? Is that extreme minimalism?
Like the living out of
Oh,
your
like
car
okay, okay. I see what you
aspect.
mean. Is that a common thing among minimalist people?
I've pretty
All
new
right.
to
I
subreddit,
feel
man.
like
I
it
don't
wouldn't
know.
be for some reason. It seems yeah, of
It's
course,
just
and
hard to
also
live
it
like
seems
that.
like minimalism is sort of a response to a culture that sort of like you can't say, poor Kenyan people, please. Be minimalists. It's the
Yeah.
it's a response to the societal cultural climate, uh, and I feel like it sort of necessitates that you be first worlder and have a comfortable sort of lifestyle. I feel like anyone who lives out of their car already has something figured out, so that they don't sort of need that structure.
Another thing that I'm just another example of like minimalism, it's like hardcore minimalism, is like you know what food? You like food? Fuck that. Soylent. There's a post on the subreddit right now about
Dude, I
Soylent
want
and
to try
someone wanting to
Soylent.
try Soylent.
That sounds like
But would you? What
my
is your
motivation for that is
motivation for
being
that?
able to carry around large amounts of calories in a and satisfying calories at that in a small package, because I do want to travel, and having something like Soylent Mix with me would make it a lot easier. And I think that Soylent is interesting, and it should be sort of promoted, not because it's good as it is now, but because interest in it could make it good. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, that
Like
makes sense.
yep,
If it was more popular, it'd be better.
because I feel like anyone who'd like be
So
on board
yeah.
with like current, beta Soylent, we're gonna that should be what everyone eats. That's not okay. I don't agree with that. But I think that it could potentially help hunger problems too. And if we raise
Yeah.
interest in it and sort of go with it, then it might even make a difference.
Absolutely. It's something that I would be interested in trying, but it would probably be something that I couldn't like wholeheartedly
Oh,
embrace
no, no,
and
no. I think
change my whole lifestyle,
I
like
think
the
I
people in this
could
post want
substitute
to.
one meal a day with it. I think that's, huh?
What
Probably
meal?
breakfast. Probably breakfast.
What meal would you choose?
I don't usually have a heavy breakfast. I have like my coffee and a bagel if I can, or coffee and some eggs. It's not.
Hmm.
It's never like toast and bacon and yeah, no. It's very very.
Extravagant. Yeah. See, people in this post see food as part of that
Food
extra
is an annoying thing,
noise in
honestly, and so
life.
is sleep. If I could eliminate,
Okay. You already sound like okay. Well, yeah, everyone would not
right,
sleep if they didn't have to.
like I
It's
like
literally
food
just a
on
waste
the
of eight
enjoyment
hours.
level. I like to think of myself as like the only reason to like food
Hmm.
is to be a connoisseur of it. There's no reason just to eat, just to stuff something in your face. That's just not that's not what it's for.
I mean, there's a line between a connoisseur and just shoving it in your
Oh
face,
no,
like
the
a
gray area. I
gray
sit in the
area
gray
there.
area for sure. But I'm saying, but I make an effort to be like, okay, I want good food. I cook a better burger than I think I can find it basically anywhere. I cook a better steak than I think I can find basically anywhere. Uh, the only thing I haven't gotten right so
Hmm.
far is pancakes. I've got pasta. I know how to make like bread basically. It's I like to cook, and I like to do these things. It's And I just think that Soylent proposing that you substitute all your food for with Soylent is it's inhuman, and that's why I don't care for it. It's like, yeah, you can be abstinent too, but
Mm.
why? But why? What?
You know what's inhuman? It's artificial intelligence.
But I think I
You just said you don't
okay,
like
I you
things that are
dirty
inhuman.
sophist. Okay, I consider myself a transhumanist, which means that I want technology to expand our horizons as a species. I feel like it's an extension of us. It's moving toward the more fit niche. You know what I mean? And
Hmm. You mean the
yeah,
survivable
in a way,
fit
because
niche?
like I feel like like automation could possibly solve most of our resource problems, which could free us up to think about the more important things in life, and that's really the big deal for
Hmm.
me. That's why I think that you know technology can help us, and I think that technology can help us make better decisions because humans, while we are, amazing, we're not we don't make a lot of sense a lot of the time. And it's because we have our personal
Yeah.
problems. Every like there needs to be a balance of self-preservation and empathy. And I think that robots could probably help us find that balance better than people can.
I mean, that makes sense, man. I just
Hmm.
hope it works out that way. I like this view, but my gut says,
Okay.
oh God.
Okay. No, I understand that. I don't think that I think that we're going to make a mistake along the way, at least. But it's not going
Hmm.
to be, terrible. It's going to be like, oh no, we've created something that's sentient and we need to kill it now.
Hmm.
Uh, I feel like sentience is, or people are gonna find out like, hey, we've been making sentient things for some time and we've just like been sort of disregarding the sentience, and then that's gonna be an issue. But I'm pretty sure dolphin people will come along before that happens, so they'll be the peacemakers.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I
All
think
right, do you think it's ready
we're
to wrap
about
this
ready to
up? Have
wrap it
anything
up.
else you want to talk about?
I'm gonna promote the website
Okay.
once again, addendum.com. Please tune in, please share and like. I'll do the promotion because I'm shameless. Uh,
Well, you're
Promoting
promoting
is
this to
to a
the
very small
a
audience,
very
but
small
but
audience.
I read an article that says that everyone knows everyone through someone they know, through someone they know, through someone they know. Like eight chains up, you statistically probably know everyone in the world. Yeah. So
Hmm.
it doesn't take much to publicize. Anyhow.
Yes. We just the line that I'm not sure if we want to go is just
Oh no,
annoying people with their
I'm not even
Facebook
gonna be on
pages.
Facebook with that. I'm not gonna be on Facebook. I'm probably gonna set up a Twitter, an official Twitter, and I'm probably gonna make
An
a short
addendum Twitter.
like a informational video for YouTube. Maybe do a little bit of crowdfunding for server costs, and yeah,
Hmm.
it's a personal project anyway. I mean, it's just for fun. It's just for
Yeah.
fun. It's to show that we're doing something and we're doing something in a team, and that's kind of awesome. It's kind of awesome. All right.
Yep.
On behalf of
I'm pretty
Taylor and
excited.
myself, thank you for listening. This has been Data Break, our intro and outro this time around, unless, of course, James provides us with Grant Webster's, will be done by me. Uh, Thank you very much for listening. Okay,
You gonna play the mandolin? Play the
I
mandolin.
will. I will, and it's going to be extra
Sounds
loud when you
great.
say play the mandolin, okay? Esports. Esports.
Esports. You should intercut esports
Dude, I'm
soundtrack
going. Yeah,
with
I'm
the
going
mandolin.
to.
This week in esports.
Esports. Esports.
Esports.
This is esports. Play esports. Esports.
Esports. Time for esports section. Esports.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. See ya. See you next
Bye.
week.
That was so good. That was really great.